Why is that? Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Barbara Mayerson from joyandsuccess.com. And I'm here talking to France, which for me is really exciting, from Susanna Panasian. And she does a lot with NLP and EFT. And I want to introduce you to her. Thank you so much for joining me today, Susanna. And take it away. Let me know, how did you start? What did you start with? And how did you get involved in all of this? And what exactly do you do?
Well, it's a long story. I'm not going to take too much time on that, but I started basically with yoga, and then Ayurveda came along, and then I started doing EFT, and now I am practicing as well NLP. I'm a master practitioner in NLP. So it's basically all these disciplines that just, inspired me to learn more about myself, about my own mind, and about well-being. I've always been passionate about the mind. So that was my main subject. Although I started the path with a disease, I had a health issue, and this is why I started to practice yoga and Ayurveda and basically healed myself from that. And then the EFT, because that's what we talk about, it's about 10 years ago when I moved to France from Canada, from Montreal, that I discovered it. And it's because I've always practiced Ayurveda, and I was already aware of the impact the emotional states and blockages and memories from the past are impacting the health. And I was looking for tools, because you see, in Ayurveda, we're finding the state of balance by applying the opposite. And according to Ayurveda, our mind, our body is composed of 5 elements. We have the earth, we have the water, the fire, the air, and the space. And in order to find a state of balance, we need to balance these elements. However, the thing is that when you are in balance, let's say when you have too much water in your system, and that shows in the body weight, or you have too much fire in the system, and that shows in too much anger and too much stomach burn and acidity, or you have too much air, or it's too agitated, you're too nervous, too anxious, and too skinny. The thing is, when we are imbalanced, we tend to do things which are creating even more imbalance. All right. So if I am of an anxious nature, that means my vata, or my air element, is imbalanced, I will tend to have a chaotic lifestyle. I will skip meals. I will do things that make me feel even more anxious. So the challenge in Ayurveda practice that I was having in Canada was, how do I get people to do what is good for them? Because, they can come to see me for a consultation. I will tell them, you're going to have to be more relaxed. But how can you get an anxious person be more relaxed? They'll say, okay, I will try when I get home. But then the old habits kick in. So basically, I was looking for ways through which to reduce certain emotional tendencies, and also to replace old patterns with new ones. And if I am to sum up the whole experience, like my own work experience with myself, because I was the first in the lab to test on, and of course with the people that I've worked with, is that we are our sum of patterns. And if we don't address these patterns will play us. We are patterns. This is what we are. My body is made of patterns. My mind is made of patterns. There's very little, maybe 1 to 2% of awareness of true choice in life. And that could be scary. That's the bad news. And the good news is that we can change those patterns. And this is what EFT and NLP, where these 2 techniques are helping me guide people into finding better ways to deal with either health issues or, daily problems like we all have, especially now these days, confinement and the economy going crazy and everything else. So,
and with this,
yeah.
Do you find like the emotions are the root of everything? Like, just to heal the emotions or calm them down, they're the root of all the problems, all the emotions?
Well, to me, everything, and that's a point of view that the Vedic science, on which Ayurveda is based, and the NLP are stating, is that basically everything is necessary. Everything is part of who we are. There's nothing that we do, there's no behavior that has no positive intention. Basically, every single thing we're doing, either good or bad, depending on how we look at it, has a positive intention behind it. So if I experience a negative emotion right now, it has something to bring me. So rather than opposing it and considering bad, you know, I know we're not too happy to feel experiences like this and like to have negative experiences, but there is something positive in there. At least your unconscious mind thinks that it does something for you. So when we have that, we take the time and we have the courage just to sit with it and, you know, have a conversation with it and allow it to be there and discover what's behind it. And also ask the unconscious mind to find needs to give me exactly the same positive or protective role, but something that suits who I am today. Because it always has a root somewhere in the past. It always started somewhere and because of a reason.
Giving you a message of some sort. Giving you a message. The negative message. The negative is giving you some kind of message.
It's not necessarily a message. I'm not sure if I heard you well because the connection got a little bit cut.
Yeah.
Could you please repeat the question?
The negative message, or it's giving you a message of some sort. So instead of running from it, just try and like let yourself feel whatever it is you're feeling, and think it's a message or something good will come out of it.
Well, yes and no. It's in the sense that it's a process. So it's like because we are kind of maybe the same generation, you know, it's like a tape. It's like a cassette, you know, you put it on, it plays. It has no real life in it. So the emotional responses most of the times are some sort of pre-recorded processes that are being started when a button is being pressed. And it's not negative, it's not positive. It makes me feel bad in a moment, but behind it, the unconscious mind thinks, oh, when this happens, I have to start playing that.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting.
If you hear me well.
Like a lot of people don't even get to that point. Like they feel a negative emotion and then they have to bury it somewhere. They bury it with food or with TV or running around, and they don't give themselves a chance to, okay, I'm feeling this. I don't like feeling it, but I'm going to sit with it and see what happens. And yeah, and it's I think that's what causes so many problems these days, because people don't sit there and let themselves feel the negative emotion, or even maybe the happy emotions. They don't feel that either.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, while we're focusing on what we want to achieve, there are moments in life when things happen the way we want. And so we are riding the tide and the wave, and everything seems smooth and cool. But then there is, because life is a turning wheel, sometimes we are finding ourselves a little bit under the surface of the water. And we have to have some tools. And this is where I find that DFT and OP are great tools for that. And this is my main message, if there was a message for me to deliver today, is that everything can be processed, because we're dealing with this. We are taking this for granted, but this body, this mind is a tool. So if I see myself, or what I define myself as a tool, then the idea is to learn how this works so that I can use it better. It is as if I have a very performant phone or smartphone, iPhone or whatever, and I only use it for making phone calls rather than using all the options and everything else that it has to offer. So we are the best gadget.
That's great.
If I am to put it in a metaphor that is easier to understand these days. But we are the most powerful gadget, and we don't know how to use it. So the main obstacle is lacking this information, the awareness that this neurology, this nervous system, this mind, this body can process anything. Everything. But the thing is, when we are in the middle of something and life hits us, we are so overwhelmed by that situation that this thought doesn't even cross our mind.
Yeah, that's when I know with EFT, it can calm you back, because you can't think when you're like crazed and overwhelmed. And the EFT just helps to bring you back into balance. And which,
Yeah.
you know, I understand EFT. I don't understand NLP too much, but I have done it, although I know it's a fabulous tool. So what would you like to do today? What would you like to process? Do you want to do some NLP or some EFT? Or what you were saying before we got online was, or before I started recording, was that people don't believe that they can have whatever it is that they want, or whatever, you know, they want money and it's not coming in because they don't believe it. They think they believe it, but that it could happen, but they don't. Or the relationship or a job or whatever it is that they want.
In any other area of our lives. For sure, when we are in that particular state of lack, and we have hard time to believe that things can change.
Right.
And this is particularly where we can start. The place to start is, particularly with tapping, is in addressing that emotional response. The belief that you are smaller than what is happening. This is the most common one. We believe that we can't deal with this. This is too big. And I have been recently through some very challenging situations, a suicide, and I think this is really heavy things that life and death. So there's lots of deaths because of the virus, because of, I don't know why, but in my environment, I had to deal with that. And it's not easy to go through unless you have some tools. And when you have tools, if you address it, it takes shorter time, and you can find yourself at the other end of the event, coming out from it with more insight, with more strength, with more power, with more love. Whereas if you don't do any of this, if you let yourself go through it and you simply don't do anything about it, you risk to bury it even deeper, to get sick over it. And I know people that have been dealing with all kinds of emotion for years, tens of years, the same anger, the same frustration, the grief that they haven't managed to release. So it's painful to see that. It's like,
And I think
it's a shame to live your life like that.
that with law of attraction, people don't realize that they create their own reality. And which is my biggest message out there, that you create what happens to you. You know, like this virus can touch everybody in the world. It's not going to touch you if you believe that it's not going to, and you're going to be healthy. But like you said, staying in it, especially lately, when there's so much, I don't know about in France, but here there's news all over the place, constant negative news about the virus. And it's really hard for us spiritual people who believe in law of attraction, believe that we will create our own reality, to keep that focus. Or if we lose it, to say, oh, I can get back to it. I can do some tapping because that'll calm me down and I'll get back to it. So I think what you're doing is fabulous, like letting, you know, with the tools, like helping people to realize that this is difficult time, or it doesn't matter if it's this time or any other time, but there are tools to get themselves on even keel again, so they can create their own reality in a very positive way.
Exactly.
You want to do some tapping?
Oh, I'll do some tapping with you.
Okay.
But before, I wanted to mention that, you know, that it's very important to understand that this negative response, first of all, is an automatic response, and it has a root somewhere in the past. Sometime at a certain point in your life, you responded that way because you had no other resource, as a child probably, or maybe a young adult. The first time you had to deal with something difficult, you created a system, a mechanism of defense, and it worked for you that way back then. But then also to understand that these negative emotions, they don't help solve the problem. You see, we think that if we get into these patterns, that will solve the problem. And I like to give this image. Imagine that you are at the center of a big sphere. And around this sphere, there are all sorts of patterns. I like to see this 3D bluish light, you know, beautiful modern technology type of picture. And you have patterns there. And whenever there is a trigger, something happens, there is that pattern that comes, is downloaded, and you start to respond. But the thing is, behind those patterns, there is clear sky, is the infinity, is the energy. So we tend to identify ourselves with these patterns. And I think, because I'm interested a lot in the spiritual work, of course, because, you know, that's all there is. I mean, when making money, good to have relationships, to have a good job, but essentially we're here for something. And
Right.
as long as we are not connected with that, things will never work out. We'll never get to be happy, even though we get those things. Even if I have so much more money, even if I buy that big car, even if I get that big house or that great lover, if I'm not connected in space with it beyond the patterns, then I will never get to have that quality, you see. And that's one thing in NLP that we're saying is that in everything we're searching for, whether it's money, a job, a partner, or health, we're actually looking for a state.
Mm.
Yeah. It's the state that I want to experience, and that state happens in my body. And rather than going and trying to find more money, I try to identify, with the help of a coach or simply by yourself, you can do that, what is exactly that I want to feel. And when you manage to awaken that state, which is physical, chemical, biochemical, then you leave with that state. Then you start talking about the law of attraction. Then you start attracting and having a clarity.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like
Sometimes we suffer because we don't have certain things, but because, yeah, sorry.
no, I was saying like that's exactly it, because you get the house or the car and the money, and you get excited for 10 minutes, and then after that you just go downhill. And then you're looking for the next thing. But if you get that spiritual feeling inside that you're already feeling it, that it'll add to it, but you know it'll still be there. And so you're absolutely right. I mean that, and people are very outside focused. They're not willing to look inside, and it's maybe because we haven't been trained to do that. Maybe, you know, this world is, you know, how much more money, and you know that's what people are
Yes,
focused
yes,
on.
absolutely.
But I think what we're trying to do, and however we're affecting the world, and I hope we are in some way, that getting the message out there that we really need to find all those things. Get excited about the money before it shows up. Get excited about the car before it. Just be happy anyway, we'll stay that way. So,
Yes.
however we get there, it's fabulous to know that.
Yes, because mostly, you see, most of our desires, in terms of what we want in life or from life, are also programs, are also other patterns floating around that come. The society telling you have to have that car, you have to have that job. So we're not connected with what is truly valuable to us. And this is my main work that I do when I do coaching and through NLP and with the EFT sometimes, is to really connect people to what truly matters to them. And it's very easy. It's a few questions away. So if you want, I can do that with you right now. And then I'll do a tapping session with you after. What do you think?
That sounds good.
So do you have anything, an area of your life that you'd like to improve or to get better results? Or?
Well, let's see. Money's always a good one.
Money is always a good one. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Always wanting more money. Always
All
wanting
right.
in the business. Yeah.
Business and money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's done. No, just kidding.
I
See,
feel
what's easy?
fabulous.
You feel better already.
This is pouring in. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why is it important to you to have, what would you like to have, more money? Or let's be more precise, actually. What precisely would you like to see in your life when it comes to money and business?
Well, I'd like to talk about money or business. You know, I've been doing these interviews. Everybody knows that. And I find that I'm saying, okay, who's the next one? Where's the next one coming from? Kind of pushing it instead of like saying, just have fun with it and back off. And when the next, when you can think of somebody else, somebody else. So, and where is the business going? Why is it important? Well, unfortunately, I think part of it is competition, like, who's doing what out there and making a lot of money. But I think
Mm-hmm.
I think just it would give me a lot of satisfaction. I'd like to help people, and I'd like to
Yes.
connect people with people. That's my biggest thing is I want to connect people with people that I like. And I guess like time is going by and I want to get it going.
Okay. So, but why is the satisfaction important to you? Like this, you said the satisfaction to help others. Why is it important for you to get that satisfaction helping others? What does that bring you?
Brings me a lot
Helping
of joy.
others, connecting with others.
It brings me a lot of joy. Actually, I've been doing that with my father lately, and he's 97 in Florida. And because of the pandemic, he was swimming a lot before, but now he's like stiff and he's trying. He gets kind of negative, although he's basically a positive person. So I've been very positive with him and cheerleading him, which is what my coaching is about. And I have so much joy because he's responding to that. And I'm saying, Dad, you're such a positive person, just you've been stuck home and that's why, but like get out there and do your physical therapy. And he's really responding to that. And I love that. I love that people are responding and he's feeling better. And I like that he's feeling better, so
Mm-hmm.
me to feel better.
So, what does it bring you when others feel better after what you do? What does it bring you?
To me, it just makes me feel that I'm really helping him. That I feel like I know what he needs, and I know he needs that positive cheerleading coaching. Just do it. Just I know you. I said, I know you'll feel better when you do it, and just giving him that extra push, and that means so much to me. Like we were talking about before, having somebody else there with you, and not being alone and because doing things alone isn't so much fun, but doing things with others and having somebody there and me just pushing him along, even though he's in Florida, I can't go down there, but having that just makes me feel, yeah, we're partnering together, and I'm really excited that he's more optimistic and he's more positive and he's more enthusiastic about life,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah, but what does it bring you? Because he feels more enthusiastic, he feels more positive, he feels better, but that brings you something. What does that bring you? And I want you to pay attention to your body when you talk about that. Where do you feel that joy?
I guess in my stomach, because I feel joy too. Like he's helping me to feel more positive. He's like I'm feeling positive by making him feel positive. And
You feel positive by making him feel positive. That's correct. And why is it important to you to feel positive in life?
because it feels good, and
It feels good.
I guess it's been easy to go down that negative road, and I don't like going down that negative road. And it gives me more joy. It gives me more opportunities. It gives me more space to light up. I'm doing more now, and I have more ability, more opportunities are popping in, and good people are popping in. And
Why is it important? Why is it important to have more opportunities, more people joining, more people
I love what
being
you're doing. You're making me
happy?
think. You're making me really think.
See, that's NLP. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Why is it more important?
Yes.
I think like, in the if you follow Abraham Hicks, and he says, there's no death, and when your spirit, you die in your spirit. But being alive on earth right now, even though it's got its challenges and it's not as
Yes.
simple as
Yes.
being dead, but I can look at the trees right now are beautiful, and the blue sky is beautiful. And I can realize, saw one of my neighbors with a little girl, and she has a baby. So ask about the baby. That just makes me feel part of this world, and just like, I could see the beauty in the world. And
Part of this world and alive. Yeah, that's right. Vibrating, being here, actually really being here.
yeah, and it definitely has
Yeah.
challenges.
That vibrates, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's like one of my fathers, when I tried to say to him, and he said it for the first time, I hadn't heard him in a long time. He said, "It's great to be alive." And it's like, yeah, that's it. It's great to be alive. Yes, there are challenges, And yes, there are things that doesn't make it so much fun to be alive sometimes, but you know that there's more wonderful things on the other side when you can get past it. So yeah, being alive and going through the negative stuff usually makes it even better on when you get past it. So yeah, boy, this NLP stuff is really good.
Yeah, you see, imagine you can get to feel this excitement of feeling alive, of being present with everything that happens, with every leaf that moves, and feel that you're connected with everything and with everybody, and go out there and do your business from this energy. What do you think that will bring? Rather than, oh, I have to do competition, and no, just allow that state to vibrate there and to grow more and more, make it stronger and stronger and more powerful, and actually record it throughout your neurology. This is what NLP is doing, is actually helping the unconscious mind record certain states and use them at will. We anchor them in the body by pressing the fingers that way, or just touching the body at any spot that we want, and then we can actually anchor that feeling. It's a little bit like a Pavlov's response, you know, the salivation.
With the
That
dog.
when you associate certain gesture with certain sounds and certain smells and certain songs, remind you some love from the past, we're always making associations. So in NLP, we're working to boost this state and bring you there where you are the most alive and associated with the gesture. So then in the future, tomorrow, when you start making a call or you want to contact someone, you just use that gesture and you just activate that state in your body. So it's easy, very, very easy. It's
That's really
fun. I love, you know.
feeling in a negative space. You just do that, and it brings you right back to this positive place.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I vaguely remember because when I was telling you, I learned NLP many years ago, and I haven't really been working with that at all since then. But I do remember the anchors. I remember it like that. Well, that was amazing. You got
Yeah.
me to say things that I didn't even know I wanted to say. So
Sorry, I switched the interview.
no, that's okay. You know, that it felt great. It really felt great because I think that in general, that's what we all want. We all want to be happy. We all want to feel good about being alive, and not to negate any negative things that come up, and let ourselves feel it. It's okay. But that doesn't have to be the state of our life. It can be a moment or two, or, you know, maybe a little bit longer than that, depending on what it is, but always coming back to that place, and knowing there's light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe the tunnel is very short for the moment. Maybe it's a longer tunnel, but that there's always a tunnel and that there is light there. And sometimes we don't know that and we forget that. So what you just did will just bring me right back to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, and always go back to what really matters, because this is what we forget, the essential. And as you said, this time is limited. We are here for, you know, an instant when it comes to the scale of the universe. We're like a blink of an eye, not even a speck in the universe. And life goes like this, but we're here for a reason. And if we don't get to tap into that, then that's waste of time, to me anyway.
Yeah.
So every situation, every negative experience is not that we want to look for negative, but it is the contrast. Like you mentioned Abraham Hicks, and they mention always the contrast where you learn and where you see what you actually want rather than, you know, what you don't want. And this was where the negative experience is happening. But there is a lot of potential behind every negative experience. If you dare to tap into it, you go through the other side and you go out really empowered. And I'm talking from my experience. This is not just, you know, positive thinking and, you know, just pray and it's going to be all right. No, it is lived experience, going through hell and continue going through hell until you go through the other side.
Yeah.
There's no other way. There is no other way on this planet, in this earth, in this incarnation. This is how it works. This is how it works, actually.
Yeah. And being strong enough and willing enough to do that. And I think like sometimes I think a lot of like I had a friend who died when she was in high school, or she was 24 or something. And when I get in moods like, you know, what's this all about? What am I doing here? I think, would you rather be like her, or would you rather be where you are? I'm like, you know, I've had quite a few years since 24. When I was 24, I'd much rather be here and experiencing. You know, she's not able to experience the beautiful blue sky anymore. She might be fine. I mean, but she's not experiencing the blue sky and getting so much joy out of that. And yeah, what that was just an amazing experience. What you just did. Um, we could still do some tapping, or we could just leave it at the NLP. I mean, that's, you know, uh, I think it's, you know,
It's up to you. I don't know if we have time.
well, actually, no, we're kind of like towards the end. But I think, you know, one of the things
Towards the end, then let me do one quick tapping that the short version I was mentioning to you and before we started recording.
Okay.
For instance, for you now, in regards to money, what's the negative experience you're having? What's your fear?
About money, that I'll run out, that money will go out faster than it comes in, and
All right.
don't know how it's going to come in, and you know, to trust that it will come in, and trust that I'll be okay. I think those are the biggest. Trust that no matter what, I'll be
All
okay.
right. So you have experiencing what? Is that fear? Is that anxiety? What's the belief behind it? What do you think is the belief behind it? Because you know yourself now a little bit better.
The belief, well, if I'm capable of making money on my own, being supported on my own, that I'm not sure I'm supported.
So the belief would be, I don't believe, or I'm not able of supporting myself, or I'm not able to make enough money.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I can really trust in the universe. I mean, sometimes when I think, where's the money? Where's the money? Which I know is a bad way to think, but it's like
All right.
it's hard for me to realize that I'm creating that reality, even though I know that I am.
Yes. Okay.
But it's
All
so
right.
hard for me to say you're creating whatever, not enough money.
Okay.
The universe wants to give it to you, but I have a hard time believing the universe is wanting to give it to me. And
okay.
that's sort of where I.
Well, normally we would go and dig a little bit more to really be precise about the belief, but let's do a round of tapping with that. And then we're going to switch to positive, just to give an example for people who are watching.
Okay, great.
So we start with the karate chop, even though I don't believe that I can trust the universe.
Even though
I don't trust the universe
even though I don't trust the universe very well. I do a little.
When it comes to money, or to giving me the money that I need.
Right.
I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Yeah. Even though I doubt that the universe can deliver me the money that I need.
That the universe can deliver the money that I need.
I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
And even though I don't allow myself to believe.
Even though I don't allow myself to believe.
Even though I choose.
Even though I
doubt.
To doubt.
Yeah.
Wow.
For some reason.
For some reason.
I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to deeply love and accept myself anyway.
So let's do that. I don't believe that the universe will give me the money that I need.
I don't believe the universe will give me the money.
Is that how you would put it? Is that the sentence you would say?
Yeah.
Or you can change it. Change it the way it sounds like to you, the best words.
I think that's that way, because we, we're told in our spiritual world that the universe has so much and will give us but there's a part of me that's saying, I'm not so sure. It's not showing up. So, but yeah, so it's like trusting and believing the universe really wants to give me money.
All right. So I don't believe that the universe will give me the money.
I don't believe the universe will give me the money.
No, there is a part of me that strongly doubts that.
There's a part of me that strongly doubts that.
There is a part of me that refuses to believe that everything will be okay money-wise.
There's a part of me that refuses everything will be okay.
There is a part of me that wants to play the game of hide and seek.
There is a part of me that wants to play the game of hide and seek.
Yeah, there is a part of me that wants to play the victim. Right?
There is a part of me that wants to play the victim.
Yeah. I don't believe that the universe can give me the money that I need right now.
Don't believe the universe can give me the money that I need.
Okay, let's take a deep breath and see what happens.
Yeah, you nailed it on the head. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can do that when I feel this thinking, when I can just do a round with more money because that's what you want. What thought would I choose? What state would you think you need to be in order to believe that the universe is always there providing you with everything that you need? Is it trust? You mentioned trust. Is it something else?
I mean, I know like Abraham will say, be happy, and I am happy a lot of the time, but it's still, but it's trusting and feeling safe.
All right.
Feeling safe, and that the universe loves me and is there for me.
What else?
With money, but everything else, with people and my health, and that it's there for me in every way.
Okay, but what is that state that you need to be in order to be completely open to receive? What do you think that is?
I guess if I had the answer, it would come. Peace.
Okay, so see, we have three states: peace, safety, and trust.
Right.
So let's do a round with this positive thing to wrap up the session. So even though I don't feel safety, trust, and peace right now,
I don't feel safety, trust, and peace right now,
I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
Deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I don't feel safety, trust, and peace right now.
Even though I don't feel safety, trust, and peace right now.
I know that I can evoke them and choose to feel them.
I know I can evoke them and choose to feel better.
Is that true? Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? That you could invoke them actually if you really wanted, right?
Yeah.
You've done that in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So again, even though I don't feel safety, trust, and peace right now.
Even though I don't feel safety, trust, and peace right now.
I'm open to the possibility.
I'm open to the possibility.
That I can invite them in my body and in my mind.
That I can invite them in my body
and throughout my entire neurology and my nervous system.
My nervous system, yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
And let's do one round of tapping with I invite safety, trust, and peace. Say the word slowly and breathe deeply as you say that.
I invite safety, trust, and peace.
I invite safety,
trust,
and peace. Take a deep breath. That's right. Inhaling safety, trust, and peace. And again, under the eye, I invite safety, trust, and peace.
I invite safety, trust, and peace.
Take a deep breath. And allow that to come through your body, your nervous system, each cell vibrating now with safety, trust, and peace. And again, under the nose, I invite safety, trust, and peace.
I invite safety, trust, and peace.
And then wait a bit. Continue tapping, but wait as if you were expecting that to happen right now. Because you know that your nervous system is capable of creating these states at any point in time, right? You have all the chemicals in your body to produce those states right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we continue on the chin. I invite the state of safety, trust, and peace right now in my body.
safety, trust, and peace right now in my body.
Deep breath. You know you can produce these states. You leave those states in the past. Your nervous system knows how to do it and can reproduce them for you right now. Again, I invite the state of safety, trust, and peace.
I invite the safety, trust, and peace.
That's right, deep breath. Because you know from past experiences, things went much better and you felt much better when you felt those states, right? Better than when you feel doubt.
Yep.
Ah, so it works better. I know it works better for me, right? Very good. Under the arm, I invite a state of safety,
I invite safety,
trust, and peace.
in my body.
Yeah, that's right. Take a deep breath. And on top of the head, I choose right now and right here
I choose safety, trust, and peace right now.
to experience a state of safety, trust, and peace.
Safety, trust, and peace.
And you can close your eyes for a few moments and feel what happens in your body. You launched a question. This is a dialogue with this body, with this neurology. Wait that it answers. There's something happening now throughout your neurology. You are the master. You are the one who chooses what this body is experiencing, what this mind thinks, what emotions you allow to fill your heart. That's right. And maybe you feel the effects of this right now as we speak, or it will take a couple of minutes, or maybe in a couple of hours, but that state will start to present itself. And the more you feel it, the better things will get. And the more you'll feel it, the more you want to feel that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be great. Yeah, like anchor it in my body. Just
Anchor it in your body. And when you feel it, it's important you can anchor it. Just use this gesture for 5 seconds when you feel it intensely, and then you release. And then later on, if this state fades away, you can just use this anchor and, you know, allow that the neurology to bring forth that state for you.
boy, that was great. That was just amazing.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling at peace. I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling a little trusting. I'm not 100% trusting, but a little trusting, but knowing that all is well. You know, I just keep on all is well. The universe loves me and takes care of me, and feeling that more. So
Great.
this was absolutely amazing. And I just thank you so much for this for me. And I'm sure whoever's watching is going to feel wonderful things too. And they can tap along with us and do their own NLP thing and contact you. Now, how can they contact you?
Well, I have my own website, which is susannapanasian.com. I have also a Facebook page, which is called The Real You, or find my with my own name, Susanna Panasian. Well, basically that's the website. It's the gateway towards me.
Great, great.
And,
Thank you so much.
we can do sessions, and that's what I'm saying. It's not to sell my services, although yeah, of course, but it's not just selling for selling. It is simply because I know you can feel better. I know that it's wasting time to allow those things to bring you down, to allow these things to damage your relationships, to damage your health. It's not hard. It's actually very, very easy. You just have to know a little bit. And this mind is brilliant. It always has its ways.
Once you point them in the right direction, like I know what's happening, and probably NLP too. You point them in the right direction, they can do it themselves. They can do the
Absolutely.
they can do the tapping. And unlike therapy that goes on forever and never gets done, you never get fixed. This can be very short and very quick. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much. This was just like absolutely.
You're welcome, Barbara. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is so much fun.
Well, that was great. Yeah. And thank you everybody for joining us. And I hope you had as much fun as I did and got some real thinking there going about your own life. So thank you so much, and see you next time.